What's up, everyone? I'm Tatum. I'm back with another episode of Off the Wall, which is my show where I go through my personal record collection and share them with you. Now, if you haven't already, hit that like, subscribe button so you could be alerted when I drop new videos. We're dropping at least 2 a week, so do that. Anyway, today, I always say, I feel like me saying like this one is one of my favorites is like gonna get played out, but I mean, they are records in my collection, so I guess they would be my favorite. But this one, it kind of means a lot. So today, we're gonna be talking about Kid Cudi's "Man on the Moon 2." Man, this album is so fucking dope. Like, and it's approaching. Well, by the time I release this, it'll be on its 10th anniversary, which is fucking nuts to me that this album is 10 years old. Uh, have a lot of great memories with this. I think it's Kid Cudi's best album. Uh, yeah, I'll get into it. Let's get into it. Let me show you guys the inside real fast. If you could get a glimpse, that's pretty cool. The back of it, pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna put this back and we're gonna get into this. All right, Kid Cudi's "Man on the Moon 2" is like I said before, it's my favorite Kid Cudi album. I think it's his best work, his most cohesive. I mean, the first "Man on the Moon 2" is very cohesive as well, but this one, I don't know, like even just the switch from the first one to the second one. The first one is very like, even though he's talking about, mental issues and depression and things of that nature, it's a little bit more light. Like, it starts off as soundtrack to my life and in my dreams, and it's like a fantasy kind of thing and to me. But this one is like Cudi. How can I put it? It's usually like that like how they say money and fame doesn't change a person, it just amplifies what they already were. And like, I think Kid Cudi was already, battling demons of his own if you listen to his music, and the success probably amplified it like crazy. And this second album shows that, even going through this track listing right now. I mean, Scott Mescudi versus the World. Don't play this song. Quick, don't play this song and These Worries have Mary J. Blige on it. And I thought that was like fucking dope because we never seen Mary J. Blige really tap into like a alternative kind of bag. I remember she did the Elton John like cover, well, flip, but other than that, she never really dived in that. And to be on a song called "Want to Know What It Sounds Like When I'm Not on Drugs, Please Don't Play This Song," that's kind of dope. Like, I wonder if Mary J. Blige was probably like, I know that pain. Like, she made my life, so it's kind of in the same vein. So that was just one of the things that stood out to me. I remember when I first listened to this album. Damn, Revolution. Jesus Christ, Wildin' 'Cause I'm Young, The Mood, like, and the album is broken up into 5 acts. So if you look at it that way, that's why I said this. It's very cohesive. It's one of the albums that, all right, for some people I can understand. I remember when Kid Cudi first came out, and it was a switch for people because we weren't used to hip hop acts or anyone in the hip hop vein being that vulnerable, like being such a downer in a way, like talk about mental issues and depression and drug abuse and alcohol abuse and lost of family members and things, all that shit roll up in a pot, and we never got this. So I remember when Kid Cudi first came out, and some people like in my neighborhood and stuff was just like, no, that's just too depressing. But for me, this came out 2010. I was just turning 20. It made me feel like at that time at 20, when you're so uncertain and you're fresh out of high school and you don't know what you're going to do in life, and you go through these depression bouts and you do all this stuff, like you're just trying to figure yourself out, it's good to hear someone that you could relate to in that matter, and someone, that's just, it was cool. Like, Kid Cudi is cool. Like, you wouldn't even think he would he would go through that. Every time you see Kid Cudi in interviews or anything, in videos, he's just smiling and things of that nature. So you wouldn't think that. But when you listen to this album, especially the last 3 songs, All Along, Ghost, and Trapped in My Mind, like those are some of the darkest songs you can probably listen to. And they close out the album. Like it ain't like the album ended on a good note. It was like, nope, I'm trapped in my mind and I'm going crazy. Like that's how the album ended. So at that time it's just really dope. And think of all the people he inspired from this album. This is what makes Kid Cudi a goat of the 2010s, well, late 2000, early 2000s, 2010s. This shit opened the door to a whole new, just it just opened the door to a whole new way of music to be shared and talked about, and it was really cool. Maniac, bro. Mr. Rager. Mr. Rager is so fucking dope. Like I remember listening to that song. That's probably one of my favorites. Mojo so fucking dope. I remember listening to Erase Me. Erase Me is the only song in this album that feels out of place. Like it's very pop rockish. It fits, but it don't really fit with the rest of this. I read a article that when he was creating it, he went through different phases and phases of the album. So when he was working with Jim Johnson, he was going for like more of that early B.O.B. kind of sound and things of that nature. That's probably why we got Erase Me. But then once he got with Emil and Plain Pad, and he went back, and from what I can understand, he was saying like he was tired of making songs that didn't fit how he felt. So I appreciate that because he could have just lied to us and not get and gave us music that really wasn't from the heart. Come on, man. Like Marijuana, man. This is really dope. Fucking, he had fucking Nicole Ray and GLC on the end. The fuck you getting Nicole Ray from? All right, let's get into the favorite songs. Mojo So Dope, Trapped in My Mind, and Mr. Rager. I don't think Mojo So Dope is just so fucking dope. Like the beat, the way he rapped on it, and that's when Cudi was like still in his rapping bag. Like, Cudi's like transformed into like when you hear Cudi rap, it feels good because it reminds me of the Man on the Moons. And hopefully we'll get that on Man on the Moon 3, which he just recently announced is coming sometime next year. So I'm looking forward to that. Worst song, I'm gonna go with, this is a toughie. If I say We Aight, is that like a cop out since it's like an interlude? That shit was like 3 seconds. Okay, now We Aight, because I feel like that's a cop. I'm gonna go with Erase Me. Worst song on there. Well, at least favorite song of mine. Best line, uh, bird seen flying around. You never see them too long on the ground. You want to be one of them. That's from Mr. Rager. That line, that line, like, that line like pops in my head frequently, just randomly throughout the day and shit. I thought I loved you so. In closing, I would say this is probably the last Kid Cudi album where it felt like a Kid Cudi album in a way. I mean, I love Indica. But that was more of a collaboration album. I love his last album, the Demon Slaying one, but it was just too many songs. I think this was the last Kid Cudi album that was just flawless, just from top to bottom, just flawless. Like, and it came out like 2 weeks before My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Isn't that crazy? And they're both turning 10 this year. That's nuts. This album just means something to me just growing up. It's one of those albums that helped shape me growing up. It helped me feel understood at a time when I wasn't sure if I felt understood and things of that nature. So I could play this album forever. It's one of those ones. That's why it's on my wall right now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So what do you think? You think this Kid Cudi's best album, his worst album? What do you rank Man on the Moon 2 in your Kid Cudi ranking? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. Let's go up in the algorithms. Dropping 1 or 2 videos a week. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. I'm Tatum. That's Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon 2. It's time to put this record back on my wall.